Welcome to lesson 247. Without forgiveness, I would still be blind. This is the Qigong support for A Course in Miracles students. I am Judith, and all this is part of the Lucid Mind Center for retraining the mind. And the reason why this is called Qigong support is because after reading and contemplating this lesson together with you, I'm going to guide you to Qigong classes which I have recorded specifically for this special thought, what is the world? These 10 lessons from 241 to 250, they are like clarifications helping us understand what the world is. And that's why you're also supposed to read every day what is the world according to the instructions of A Course in Miracles. But let's read the lesson together now, and I'm going to give you more instructions or advice or suggestions in the end. Let's begin. With lesson 247, without forgiveness, I will still be blind. Sin is the symbol of attack. Behold it anywhere and I will suffer. For forgiveness is the only means whereby Christ's vision comes to me. Let me accept what His sight shows me as the simple truth, and I am healed completely. Brother, come and let me look on you. Your loveliness reflects my own. Your sinlessness is mine. You stand forgiven, and I stand with you. This is a very interesting lesson here. It's because it's written in the first person. It says here, behold it anywhere, and I will suffer. Who is that one who will suffer? It's the true self in you which is going to suffer. It is when you are allowing your true self to be suppressed. This is where all the suffering comes from. This is where all the fear comes from. This is where all the anxiety comes from. If you don't allow this creative power to express itself. So that's why when you are, for example, in a creative process, when you sing or when you dance or when you connect to other people, that's why you feel happy. When you connect to nature, because you have allowed your true nature to come out, to show, to be. So sin is the symbol of attack. Behold it anywhere. If you see it anywhere, I will suffer. And that is your higher self talking now, that Christ consciousness within you. For forgiveness is the only means whereby Christ's vision comes to me. And forgiveness is the only means where you can actually turn away from the ego and allow the Christ vision to come through again, where you realize that this is actually what you are, that innocence, that divine extension of love, as we talked about yesterday. Let me accept what His sight, Christ's vision, let me accept what His sight shows me as the simple truth, and I am healed completely. When you allow yourself to get past it. Sometimes it's difficult, sometimes especially if you've been a long time within this situation of not trusting yourself and not allowing that self out, just allowing the ego to be. It is an ego is not only an ego which is an angry ego or which is a narcissistic ego. Egos can also be empaths. Egos can be suffering. Egos can be victims. They can be martyrs. This can also be an ego expression. It's not only like the bad ones, the aggressive ones are the ego. Also when we are suffering, this is also an expression of ego. We find some kind of strange pleasure in that. I've done it many times. I don't like to have physical suffering. I don't like to be physically ill. I don't like to have pain anywhere. But I can have psychological suffering. Oh my God, am I good at it? When I have an argument with somebody, or when I take on the victim role, or when I take the aggressor's role, I can take on different roles, but it's always the ego which is just playing out different roles, because it is the way you can recognize it is the energy. Is it contracting? If it's contracting, it is ego. If it's expanding, it is love. If it's an expansion. But even that, the ego can hijack. So you gotta find it within yourself. You're gonna find it within yourself, the kindness and the gentleness, the innocence, the trust. When you can describe that what is within you with these words, forgiving, then this is the holy self within you, the Christ self, the one which is understanding and truly forgiving the other from a state of grace, from a state of acceptance, not from a victim role. Brother, come and let me look upon you. Come and let me see you. Come, and this is what you say when you're looking at the people which you're meeting. Let me see you. I'm not afraid of you. All that said, I just have to tell you one story. I live in the Canary Islands, and people are very friendly here. So people, it's normal here to greet everybody, even if you've never seen them in your life. Especially if you like out on the beach walk, or out in the forest or something, you greet people. And I've grown up in Vienna. In Vienna, everybody's rushing and running. I hadn't been to Vienna for a long time, or I hadn't taken a public transport for a long time. Maybe I had been to Vienna, but not been on a public transport. So I went to take a metro with my 2 children. I only had 2 children at the time, many years ago. And I had just come from Gran Canaria and all my happy self. So I was smiling in the metro. I was smiling in people and nodding. And people were like, looking at me. She's strange. They were like, what is wrong with her? And but then I had to change metro. There was 2 stations. So one station was here and the other station was on the other side. So I could observe the people on the other side, and I was also kind of, every time I got eye contact with somebody, I was smiling and nodding. And the next thing is there was maybe a Turkish or Arab or something guy who was on the other side, and I was just like nodding like I would be in Gran Canaria. Well, the next thing is he completely misread my nodding, and he thought that I was coming on to him. Then he was starting making signals to me, and I'm like, what is going on? And it's only then after I realized that this behavior, or this kindness, or this nodding, this way of open greeting to people, it is not acceptable in a big city, because people are very reserved, people are very closed off. And so then I realized, okay, you have to accustom yourself to the behavior of the city, otherwise you're actually putting yourself out in danger. Even though I want to nod, I want to acknowledge the other human, if I do it, then it actually scares the ones which are very reserved, and the ones which are not reserved, they're misreading the signals. So that's why I had to, when I'm in Vienna or something, I first have to feel into the city, then get accustomed to the behavior, and then find a way of being my kind self without offending people or without putting myself in danger. So, brother, come and let me look on you. Sometimes you can look at them without looking at them and just shine out the light to them. Your loveliness reflects my own. Your sinlessness is mine. You stand forgiven, and I stand with you. As you know, in the Qigong class, I will ask you to read the idea, which is without forgiveness, I will still be blind. And I will also ask you to read the prayer, which goes like this. So would I look on everyone today with forgiveness. You don't have to do it like me and smile and nod at them, because they might misread it. But you can look at them with an open heart. So would I look on everyone today. My brothers are your sons. Your fatherhood created them and gave them all to me as part of you and my own self as well. Today I honor you through them, and thus I hope this day to recognize myself. And many, many, many times in the course, in the text, it says that you will recognize yourself through others, through the brothers, through our brothers and sisters, through other humans. It is through them that you recognize yourself. And when you keep yourself separated from them, when you keep yourself separated from other people, then you're somehow denying your own self. And it doesn't mean that you have to now go out and hug everybody. Like we said, there's even a very important chapter in the back here. If you suddenly offer healing to other people, they're not ready to take it. To suddenly overwhelm them with love and hug them and kiss them, this is not the way to do it. You got to accept their stance, and then from within you look at them differently. From within you, it's a shining. It's like of an expansion. You like shine out the happiness, and some of them which are around you, they will be open to it in a kind of a way which is not going to be offensive to them or offensive to you. Always remember, it's always about the way you are looking at the world, the way you are looking at others, the way you are looking at the Holy Spirit, at God, the way you're looking at yourself. What you want to do is to change your mind about all those things. And forgiveness is a tool, it's a mechanism you can apply. So let's read the prayer one more time. So would I look on everyone today, because without forgiveness, I will still be blind. My brothers are your sons. Your fatherhood created them and gave them all to me as part of you and my own self as well. Today I honor you through them, and thus I hope this day to recognize myself. Beautiful. Like we have said already before, it is not about the words. It's about the meaning and about the experience. The higher we come up in our workbook, the higher the number of the lesson, the less it is even about the meaning, the more it is about experience. And the Qigong meditations which I have prepared for you, they're going to help you understand what the world is, and they're going to help you understand your lesson. So here you have your standing Qigong class, which I recommend you do at least once or twice during this 10-day period. Here you have got the seated Qigong class you can do every day. You have what is forgiveness, and here you have the whole list of Qigong classes if you would like to do another one. Love, light and Qi to you.